Well, this Valentine's Day, take your significant other on a romantic getaway to Paris.
It's not too late to book the trip to the Orpheum, that is, where you can see An American in Paris, the musical.
Yeah, joining us this morning, Ben Michael, who plays character Henri Borel. Good to see you.
Henri.
Good to have you.
Henri or Henri, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, we practice.
I'm not French, but this is really a new production, right? But it's based on the old movie from the 50s.
Yes, it's based on the old movies from the movie from the 50s, and the show opened, I believe, in 2014 in New York, and the tour started in 2016.
It's a relatively new Broadway musical,
yeah.
You know, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the storyline for us?
Well, it's set just after the Second World War. It's set in Paris, and essentially, to boil it down, it's about 5 young people who just went through this war, and they kind of are trying to find their way and what their new life is now. And they generally find it through art and then naturally through love.
Yeah, but it is a love story, right?
It is, yeah.
So how so? Was it Henri's character that falls in love?
Well, Henri and Adam and Jerry are the 3 main guys,
okay.
And naturally they all fall in love with the same woman.
With the same girl, yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Isn't she kind of mysterious?
She is. There is definitely a mystery around her. So yeah, it's essentially about that and kind of the pitfalls of love for all these 3 men, and falling in love with this woman and what she's going to do and who she's end up choosing in the end.
A lot of great dancing I'm seeing. It looks like some ballet, jazz type dancing. Do you dance?
I dance a little bit.
Little bit.
But it's Christopher Wheeldon, our director, comes from the ballet world, so there's a lot of ballet involved.
Yeah.
But a lot of the music, is it all Gershwin?
All Gershwin.
All Gershwin tunes, yeah.
Every bit of it.
Do you have a favorite song?
I would say "Swanderful." It's one of my favorites. I get the 3 guys get to sing that together, and it's just a lot of fun.
Now, you've been touring around the country with this show, correct?
Yes.
For how long?
I joined in the middle of October.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was going for about a year before that, and we had a large turnover, and I'm one of the new folks.
Well, so tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into performing?
Oh,
You've been
well,
doing this since a young age?
Yeah, well, I started really in 2nd grade, but then I got serious about it in high school. Then I went to Syracuse University for musical theater. And then once I graduated, I started working professionally in Philadelphia for a while, and then I moved to New York a couple years ago.
What's that like, you know, taking that jump to living in New York? There's so much competition out there, right?
There is,
and then to get onto a Broadway musical and then one of these touring groups as well. Talk about that. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's hard, and you just kind of have to jump off the high dive and hope that everything's going to go all right. But luckily, I was able to kind of you know, earn my keep in Philadelphia for a bit and gain some confidence and work a bit down there before I got up to New York and kind of hit the ground running up there.
Now back to the musical, why do you think that An American in Paris is so appealing to audiences everywhere?
Partially just because of the music, because there are going to be songs throughout the entire night that you listen to and you say, oh, I remember I listened to this with my grandmother or with my mother, and you know, everything kind of has a connection. And then it's just about love and art, and I think everyone loves love and art, so you might
especially
as well.
This time of year, you know, with Valentine's Day,
precisely.
we're all in a loving
season
mood.
of love. That's right. How was last night's show? Because last night
it was great.
It was the opener, right?
It was the opening night here in Omaha. It was great. The audience was so much fun, and it's amazing because we have this, as was the centerpiece of the movie. There's a 15-minute ballet at the end, and everyone just hooted and hollered and roared at the end of that, and that's always a good barometer to see how each city kind of accepts and reacts to the show.
Do you find when you get feedback after the performances, if you talk to any of the people in the audience, do they compare it to the movie? Are you finding that people that see this Broadway musical have seen the movie and that's why they come, or are they not tying it to the movie from the 50s?
I think it's a good mix of people, especially because as you go around the country, you find, you know, the older generation, of course, is going to have seen the movie, and sometimes the younger folks have had their grandparents or parents show it to them. But what's great is that it's set right after the war, whereas the movie is set a couple years later, so it has a different tone. So you can kind of say, yes, it's like the movie, but it's the story is told differently.
Right. Well, if our viewers want to catch it this week at the Orpheum, are tickets still available?
Yes.
I think there are some tickets. I see a head shake coming from behind the cameras over there. There are tickets available. An American in Paris, now through Sunday, Omaha's Orpheum Theater. Tickets, ticketomaha.com, 345-0606.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, have a good run in Omaha.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Omaha.
Thanks.